Welcome back to Hardware Unboxed. Today's video is your classic build video and one I'm particularly excited about because I'm finally upgrading my personal editing rig here and gaming rig to something much faster, something that will seriously rip through the encoding of our videos and provide a better gaming experience as well. So over here is my current rig I use for editing all my videos on Hardware Unboxed, and it's showing its age at this point. This is largely the same PC I built on the channel when I first joined back at the start of 2017. But with, I guess, a few changes. The big one was I had to replace my Asus Crosshair 6 Hero motherboard due to a fault with the DIMM slot, so I'm currently using a pretty mediocre Gigabyte AB350 Gaming 3 motherboard, which doesn't handle overclocking my Ryzen 7 1700X very well. Let's just say it has a few VRM problems when overclocking up near the 3.9 GHz mark, which my previous X370 board had no problems with. The Ryzen 7 1700X has been great for me so far, but as a professional video editor, it's time to pull out the big guns. So over here we have the AMD Threadripper 2950X, which will become the core of my upgraded editing rig. This thing is a serious beast for productivity workloads like video encoding, and it should provide a massive performance improvement over the 1700X for stuff I do basically every day on the channel. The 1700X is also fine for video encoding. It still holds up well for most tasks, but it's struggling a little bit with the graphics comparison videos we've been putting up on the channel lately. When you overlay up to 5 high bitrate 4K 60 FPS videos and try and preview it, the Ryzen 7 1700X is on struggle street. But with the Threadripper 2950X instead, I'll be getting a ton more CPU horsepower and memory bandwidth to speed up previewing and encoding. On top of that, the 2950X is also faster than the 1700X for gaming, which is, I guess, a bonus as I use my editing rig for a bit of gaming as well. It benefits from second-gen Ryzen's improved latency, and of course it clocks higher than the 1700X, especially considering I was only topping out at around 3.8 GHz on my previous CPU. For the motherboard, there's really only one choice here, and that is the MSI Meg X399 creation. This is a beast of a board. It's got a massive VRM on it, and that should comfortably handle the 2950X overclocked, but should also give plenty of headroom for AMD's future Threadripper CPUs should I choose to upgrade down the line. I really like the design as well. It's got an awesome feature set and really should provide the ultimate platform for Threadripper. While not really necessary for video editing, I've decided to swap out my Titan X Pascal that was used in my old rig, you can see it in there, for the Gigabyte RTX 2080 Ti Gaming OC. This should give me a handy performance boost in gaming and will make it a bit easier to evaluate things like ray tracing as I go without having to switch to my test system all the time. The rest of the components, they come from Corsair. I'm currently using a Cooler Master case, as you can see over here. It's not the prettiest thing going around, so swapping that out for a Corsair Obsidian 500D. It's not on the table here, but we will be using that for the build in just a moment. Now you might be thinking, will the beastly X399 Creation motherboard actually fit inside the 500D, which technically isn't designed to fit extended ATX motherboards? Well, don't worry, I checked it, and it does fit with slightly reduced space for cable management. And I'm pretty relieved about that because I love the way the case looks. Then for the cooling, we have the Corsair H150i Pro over here with the TR4 mounting kit as well. That's definite overkill for the 2950X, but this should give, I guess, the most headroom for Precision Boost 2 and even Precision Boost Overdrive auto overclocking if I decide to go down that path. In any case, I was using a pretty basic air cooler with my 1700X, and it was pretty loud under load. With the H150i Pro, won't be complaining about noise anymore, that's for sure. And then finally at the front here, we have the Corsair RM850X power supply, 80 plus gold certified, should provide plenty of power for this CPU and GPU combination, and that will be replacing a Thermaltake 600 watt unit that's used in this thing. My existing PSU is fine, perhaps a little noisy under load, but we needed more power, so I had no choice but to upgrade to one of these from Corsair. And then there's a whole bunch of components I'll be keeping from this old build. We'll take those out in a moment. No need to get new stuff for stuff that I already had that's perfectly fine. On the memory side, in there is 32 gigabytes of Corsair Vengeance DDR4 3000 with white LEDs. They provided for a build a while back. I'll also be keeping my entire suite of storage. I need those for my valuable files and all that. So my Corsair Force MP500 M.2 drive, Crucial MX300, and then there's two Seagate 8TB drives in there as well, and all of those will be transitioning over. And then finally we have my Elgato 4K 60 Pro capture card, that will be coming across as well. I've been using this for all my 4K game captures that you've been seeing in my videos lately, and it just works really well. No complaints here. All right, so this is all the new stuff that's going into the build. Got to take a few things out of here in just a moment. I guess it's time to get building. All right, so here it is, my new editing rig. One thing I'm already noticing is just how quiet it's running with the Corsair H150i Pro inside. My previous editing rig was pretty noisy, but I'm certainly very impressed with how this thing is running at the moment. I'll soon be figuring out just how fast the Threadripper 2950X is. I've got to go edit this video, so I'm expecting a pretty significant performance improvement over the Ryzen 7 1700X. And then of course for gaming as well, the RTX 2080 Ti will give me a noticeable jump in frame rate, and that will help me out in some of those competitive shooters and all that sort of thing. So yeah, really looking forward to using this test system full time from now on. I reckon it's going to hit those 3 key areas I really wanted to upgrade and improve with this new build, which was getting it to be run a lot quieter, and it's already doing that. Much better performance for video editing, of course, with Threadripper 2950X, and improved gaming performance as well. So all across the board there, I think I've tackled each of those 3 things. Of course, big thanks to all the people that helped put this build together. AMD for the 2950X, guys like MSI for the Creation Motherboard, Gigabyte for the 2080 Ti, and of course Corsair for a lot of the components that go into our builds here at Hardware Unboxed. It's been a long day here, so I'm going to get off this video and get to, you know, figuring out what this system is like to use. So I guess we'll see you guys in the next one. Of course, don't forget to subscribe for more content like this on Hardware Unboxed. Check the links in the description below for links to our Patreon page, where you can get access to our exclusive Discord chat and our monthly live streams. And I'll catch you in the next one.